Well, Hunter Biden is still working to untangle himself from a Chinese-owned investment firm, despite his pledge to cut ties with foreign boards before his father took office.
He has been working to unwind his investment, but I would certainly point you, he's a private citizen, I would point you to him or his lawyers on the outside on any update.
And what about the president's promise that his family wouldn't have conflicts of interest while in the White House? Here to discuss, Judicial Watch President Tom Fitton. Tom, thanks so much for being here this morning. You know, we've seen Hunter Biden with his father, the president, on multiple occasions since he's entered the White House. Yet he's still working to untangle. What does that mean, and how long will that take, Tom?
That means nothing, and it means that Joe Biden's promise on this core issue about his family's involvement with the Chinese communists has been broken. This is not a surprise. Evidently, it ought not to be a surprise that Joe Biden became president, and it's months and, frankly, years since these dealings came under investigation, and Hunter Biden still is in a business relationship with the Chinese Communist government, practically speaking. And this relationship began during the vice presidency of Joe Biden. And Joe Biden, frankly, needs to have a special counsel appointed to investigate what went on with his family, because not only does it obviously implicate his family, but because of all the emails and testimony, it may implicate him. This is a deadly serious issue. And now we're having the White House spokeswoman say, oh, well, he's a private person, so maybe it's not as important as Joe Biden pretended it was. What a scam.
Of course. I mean, a company he controls owns 10% of a state-owned entity getting money from the Bank of China, yet we're to expect the President of the United States to play hardball with the Communist Chinese if necessary. You mentioned a special counsel. How likely is that? I mean, the Attorney General is not going to take action on this. What triggers the appointment of a special counsel?
Well, under the Trump standard, where there was a special counsel for Mueller appointed at the drop of a hat, they're supposed to appoint a special counsel under DOJ regulations when there's a conflict of interest. And it's in the public interest. Does anyone think that it's not in the public interest and there's no conflict of interest for the Justice Department to be investigating the president's son on issues that may implicate the president directly? This is potential bribery. And the White House is saying, well, he's a private person. Well, you know, you can bribe private people to get to public office holders like the father of the person you're bribing, which is what it looks like the Chinese were doing here.
Well, which is the whole idea of what was covered up before the election, which the New York Times exposed and was completely suppressed. Tom, I can hear your frustration. You talk about the Trump standard. Of course, the world we live in right now is a double standard, where there's one standard for Donald Trump, another for Joe Biden. What hope do you have that these things you're talking about, potential bribery, are actually further exposed and there ever is any accountability?
Well, the DOJ and the FBI covered up this investigation for political reasons, did not proceed aggressively. What's passed is probably prologue. I don't think there's a double standard. There's one standard, which is to misuse the Justice Department to target political opponents of the deep state and the establishment while protecting folks in high station like Joe Biden.
You're exactly right. We got to stop using the phrase double standard. It is one standard, and they use it, and they wield it with all the power that they have at their disposal. Tom Fitton, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.
You're welcome.